Thanks for joining us for another session of Meet the Market with JHK Legal. Today I'm really excited because I'm joined by Jeremy Hoffman and Scott Kelly. The gents are owners and founders of HK Partners. HK Partners offer a modern approach to accounting, tax and wealth management for their clients. They've got clients all over Australia across a wide range of industries. So thanks for joining me today, gents.
Our pleasure.
Excellent. So obviously 2022's thrown up who knows what, given on the past 2 years and the uncertainty in the market. What are you seeing out there and what are you predicting for your clients this year?
Well, I think there's still been a fair bit of business confidence around. That's one thing we've noticed. And perhaps that's to do with the resilience that people have built up over the last couple of years going through a tumultuous period. But I guess what we're seeing is the smart operators are people who continue to follow the 3 Ps, just plan and plan again. And we're really driving that into those clients as well. So it's a bit hard to obviously predict what's going to happen over the next 12 months, but I think we're going to keep focusing with our clients on managing cash flow, making sure they're nimble, and they take the opportunities when they come, or plan for the worst if that presents itself at the same time. So we're quietly optimistic, but we're also we're at the end of the day conservative bank counters, so we need to take a conservative approach at times as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's right. I think people have also got to remember that there's been a lot of stimulus in the economy as well. So a lot of people's P&Ls have been sort of propped up by some government stimulus, which from all reports is not going to be there anymore. So I think people's business models will be tested a bit more going forward without that stimulus there, or certainly the ones that are receiving anyway. So it's really just making sure that they can continue to have the margins they have been having without the stimulus.
Yeah. And I suppose that's a good point, because now everyone wants to, the word comes up about getting back to normal. Everyone wants to get back to normal. Like, are we actually going to be able to get back to normal?
Well, it's a very good question. I think maybe the new norm is that we can't expect there to be normal anymore. And it's obviously been a theme in financial markets for a long time. We all remember the GFC a few years ago. But I think, back to our earlier point, is that if we can be nimble and be prepared and be able to move forward with anything that gets put in front of us, that's where we come in and help the clients as well. And the smart operators, as I said, seem to focus and utilise trusted experts and whatnot. So I think the new normal is to bring in as many trusted experts as you possibly can and allow them to play devil's advocate and help you.
Yeah. And as you said before, prepare as much as
you can.
That's right,
prepare as much as you can. Yeah.
Excellent. And there's been a lot of hype this year as well regarding obviously the economy and flowing into that, the inflation and obviously the potential hike in rates.
That's right.
How are your clients getting prepped for that and sort of what are you seeing in that sort of space?
Well, without going into delving into giving financial advice, we're keenly watching what's happening with central banks around the world and obviously how that might impact us here in Australia and our business clients. Obviously a key focus for our clients is those carrying debt and how we can help them prepare for the eventuality if in fact we see rate rises throughout the next 12 or 18 months. So a real focus from our perspective on making sure that we're prepared for that eventuality as well.
And I suppose the other coming out of that, again, is that you guys obviously provide a myriad of different services to your clients across the accounting bandwagon, the modern sort of accounting practices, tax, assisting clients from the wealth management and that sort of side of things. Where are you seeing the smart money heading and are you seeing different strategies being employed by your clients?
The smart money continues to seek a wide range of advice from a whole different raft of sources. The smart operators, like I said, are nimble. They focus on their cash flow. We've done a lot of work in that regard. And so I think we're seeing the smart money prepare for any eventuality and utilising us and our services for doing that type of work as well. I know that you've got a few comments around that.
Yeah, I think what you'll find is, as you see interest rates go up, people's business models will be tested a bit more. In that, it's the cash flows of people's customers and clients will shrink a little bit too. So I think business owners have got to be conscious of that and just making sure that the customers and clients they're dealing with, they're still able to pay their bills. I think some of the old principles will come back into play as we head towards some higher interest rates and just making sure that you got strong cash flow. You're chasing your debtors. Whereas you've got some government stimulus and and your amortisation repayments aren't so high with low interest rates, you kind of let your debtors just sneak out a little bit. But I think it's just tightening that up and just making sure that your business model is strong, because it'll probably get tested a bit more in the coming years than it probably has done.
It's about having that financial discipline, and if you are struggling in that regard yourself, bring people in to help in that regard. We do it for a whole raft of industries and a whole raft of people. So it's and we do it for ourselves. I mean, at the end of the day, we're running a business as well, and we've got to test all these things out on ourselves. So we enjoy doing it.
I suppose in sort of correlation, we've got much the same type of client across our businesses you guys have, and we work really well together in terms of that SME space. And I suppose what we've seen a bit, and the big question is, what strategy are our clients looking to utilise this year at what gets thrown at them? I mean, already we've seen a fair bit of movement in the M&A space. We're looking at businesses are looking at whether obviously they're downsizing, getting on the growth trajectory, and I think you've nailed it where you said they've just got to get the right advisors in play and make sure they get the right advice in the right areas when they need it. So that they can scale up, scale down. But I mean, I'm seeing a lot of M&A space. I'm guessing you guys will probably see a bit of that this year from your clients.
Yeah, there absolutely has been. And I think that will continue to get tested. It's actually interesting that there's been quite a bit of that over the last couple of years, despite all the choppy waters we've had to navigate with lockdowns and mask wearing every single day and rat tests and so on and so forth. And so it was somewhat surprising to see that continue through, but I think we've all seen in the financial press how much the M&A space has really taken off and probably the big end of town, and that's sort of filtering down through some of our clients as well. So I fully expect to continue to see some of that.
And I think, I mean, you nailed it, the first question. I still think there's quite a significant amount of confidence around with people, which is great, because that'll hopefully continue to mean that businesses will prosper.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I suppose also coming out of that is going to be some businesses in their industries have obviously come out of this really strong, just given the demand for their products and services. On the other side of things, we'll obviously have some clients that come through this in some real financial pain. That's right. And we've had, once again, a lot of clients come to us looking at that asset protection piece. But sometimes it's too late in the game for that. Where are you seeing clients potentially exposed on the back of what's happened over the last couple of years?
It's a really good question. I think there's a huge amount of exposure if you're operating in redundant sort of structures, or structures which aren't fit for purpose. So I think one thing we work well together, as we've done in the past, is that when we are picking up a new client or dealing with someone who their business may have grown or it's changed in some regard, making sure it's still fit for purpose, the structure they're operating under. So we've done quite a lot of work in that space over the last couple of years, and we'll continue to press that importance upon that with clients and making sure, because during these difficult times, asset protection, it's so important. We've gone through all the hard work to build this wealth up. We're fools if we don't protect it in the right structure for what could be a really, really simple solution to fix. If it doesn't get dealt with, could end in disaster. So it's very important from our perspective.
I think a big part of asset protection as well is diversification. So it's making sure, Australians traditionally are very, very good at being hard workers and working really hard in the business, but what we really need to focus on is diversifying away from the business as well. And that's what a lot of our clients have sort of started to do and doing well, is that they're sort of using the cash flow of the business to develop and other passive assets along the way as well. So it's not just putting all the eggs in one basket as such.
That's right. And the last couple of years have definitely brought this to the forefront,
right.
And it's going to be interesting to see where it goes next.
It will be.
I suppose if we had a crystal ball, we're able to look into it right now. What sectors or industries do you guys think there's going to be a lot of activity coming in the next 12 months?
Yeah, it's a good question. I wish I had the crystal ball as well, mate. We'd all be very wealthy people, wouldn't we? I guess from what we've seen, we've got a lot of clients in agriculture, construction, in the creative space, financial markets as well. All those four sectors have done really, really well and have already started off the year with a bang. And that's sort of, there's been different factors impacting on why they've done so well. A lot of our clients in those areas have got lots of cash at the moment, and I guess it comes back to Scott's point in that it's now time for them to diversify away and make sure that they haven't got all their eggs in one basket. And that quite often happens, particularly around the the agricultural space, where you've got land which is worth a lot of money. It's gone up, quite significant amounts in value, and I can coming from a farm, I can sort of speak to experience of that. So it's now really looking at that overall wealth picture and just and making sure that they are sort of covered off from all aspects and whatnot. So look, I think those sectors will continue to do well this year, but time will tell. I guess it comes back to that point about diversifying, being nimble, and planning.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're exactly the same. On the other side, we've got clients that, through absolutely no fault of their own, in hospitality, in tourism, that have obviously felt the effects. I think there'll be a lot of activity in those sectors this year coming. Whether it's good or bad, time will tell. But as you guys have already said today, it's about making sure that you get the right advice, prepare, plan as much as you can, and ensure that you're diversifying and covering your bases.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And for you guys in the business moving ahead in 2022, what's the plan? Grow, or stabilise?
A little bit of
HK
that. So it's always, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Always growing, always looking for opportunities, but just making sure we do it, in the right way, not too quick. Making sure we get the right clients on board that fit with our business model.
That's right.
And of course the right staff, which is always a good challenge. But we're super lucky at the moment. We've got a great team, we'll look to grow that over the course of the year as well.
Yeah, and I think we'll just continue to develop the team and help them get better in certain areas and sort of develop ourselves as well. So, and with that comes opportunity. So we'll see what happens.
No, well, our businesses are in parallel in terms of the professional services and making sure that we want to provide the best services to our clients and get them absolutely smashing their goals and targets. So we love working with HK, and we know that there's going to be some real activity in the market, and a lot of clients are going to utilise your services and ultimately us, and it's all about getting them through and making sure they keep going.
That's exactly right. And mate, we echo those comments. We love working with you guys, and we're very appreciative of it all. So
excellent.
Yeah,
thank you. Team.
Excellent. Thanks for joining us today, lads. It's been really great having Jeremy and Scott and diving into their brain and seeing what's going to come this year with them and their clients. Thanks very much for tuning in for another session of Meet the Market.